Welcome to the news. I'm Kejang Henry at Timbe. Let's begin with our top stories. Following complaints from right groups and victims, Heavy Bobda is presently napping in the interim at the Littoral Regional Police Department following his arrest early Wednesday at Bonaberry. And how the people cope with the persistent ghost town in the northwest region of the country. We shall get reports of the changing habits as they struggle to occupy themselves on ghost town days to circumvent separatist movement. And regional councils express worries as they stifled as a result of piecemeal transfer of resources to local collectivities. Those are top stories. Thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kejang Henry at Timbe, and of course you can hook up with us on our platforms on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Just go to Canal International. And of course it was the end of the road for a suspected violent sex offender who has been nabbed and presently at the Judicial Police Headquarters in the Littoral region. Heavy Bobda was nabbed in the early hours of Wednesday around Catretash in Bonaberry of the Dwella 5 subdivision. The suspected serial sex predator is reputed for harassing his victims at gunpoint before carrying out his act. And prior to his arrest, his family members had earlier published a release calling on the judiciary to handle the matter without the influence of the social media. And so we'll be coming back with details on the Heavy Bobda sex scandal as it unfolds. Meantime, one of human rights lawyers behind this matter is Barrister Tamfu, who has this to say.
Now that Heavy Bobda has been arrested and is under police custody, I think according to the Criminal Procedure Code, the police investigations can now open properly. So all the victims who have filed in their complaints, I don't know how many are they, I think those complaints will be read over to him and the evidence produced against those in support of those complaints, and Heavy Bobda will be able to give his own part of the story or his statements recorded according to that complaint. At this point in time, he is referred to as a suspect, and as a suspect, he benefits from the right to have a lawyer or a counsel of his choice, and also the right to a medical doctor. And it is only after there is a confrontation between parties that if the evidence against him are genuine, that he can be referred to the State Council or to the appropriate court for hearing. Yes, sexual offenses are punishable under the Cameroon Penal Code. So for now, we don't know exactly which of the sexual offenses. We hear of rape, we hear of private indecency and all whatnot. So yeah, those offenses are punishable under the Cameroon Penal Code. So we wait to hear exactly what will come out from the police investigation. And if it is that the file is solid, probably he will be referred to the State Council, and probably a proper hearing will be conducted in court. And if he is found guilty, he may be sentenced.
Well, Barrister, time for Richard, they're talking on the Heavy Bobda sex scandal. Of course, we must precise that he remains a suspect. And so two other suspected swindlers of parading the state as agents of the Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure are presently behind bars. They were caught at a rendezvous point where they were proposed a very juicy business to one of their prey. Details with Beatrice Ngamo.
Users have over and over been victims in the hands of fraudsters in the sector of land title. The conversation starts with telephone calls, then rendezvous taken as the present serves as secondment at the minister's cabinet. A real copy of your file, beautiful offers are made to facilitate the issuance or delivery of documents. Many fall prey. The complaints like cries numerous. The Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure then seek the collaboration of the Judicial Police on the matter. The Secretary General of the Ministry told the press. And the case at hand two individuals in the said business with a catch. After discussing with the user, an arrangement point was reached. But doubting their offer, the user then alerted the police. The two supposed swindlers fell.
Lui présenter leur offre de facilitation afin d'un aboutissement diligent de son dossier.
They were brought to the ministry, two able men in suits, and in their possession, authentic documents. How did they enter in possession of these? Manifold investigation has been opened to get the actors involved.
Nous allons investiguer aussi en interne pour apprécier et voir quels sont ceux de nos collaborateurs qui mettent ces éléments, ces informations à la disposition de ces arnaqueurs.
Investigations also to know if there are police elements as a claim during their supposed deal or usurpers, as their calls have been submitted to the police for exploitation.
Thanks, Beatrice. And coping with ghost towns in the two English-speaking regions of the country can be very challenging. So with the persistent ghost town phenomenon in the northwest region of the country, the population have adopted diverse strategies or styles on day-to-day as, of course, they are obliged to make sure they circumvent the barrel of the separatist attacks. In Bamenda, some residents told our reporters how they are occupying themselves on ghost town Mondays. Annie Collins, Annie report.
Monday, an ordinary beginning of working weekday in Cameroon, but a day full of controversy in English-speaking Cameroon. Since 2017, barely a year after separatists began calling for a breakaway republic, they imposed Monday as a day of ghost. That is, a day when everything should be grounded to raise public awareness. To have their say respected and so have their way, separatist fighters have been using the barrel of the gun to threaten and enforce the order.
On Mondays, I think that's the best day I have with my family because I help my wife do a bit of house chores and I help my children back at home with their assignments from school. I have other duties like people call me from my office to ask about certain things that I give them clarifications. So basically, I don't leave my house on Mondays. I'm indoors. I do most of the work indoors.
It is now difficult to say whether the ghost town call is respected out of solidarity or simply out of fear.
There are certain situations that can be make it. We realize certain things that at times they are good to have for such days. Most of the meetings here in Bamenda have been planned for Mondays, and they have made people to organize so many jambies, clean up campaigns in the quarter. So on Monday, instead of it being a ghost town day, it even makes people to be very busy. We have jambi in the quarter, we have 2 clean-up campaigns, and I'm even foreseeing that if they really unleash the Monday again, will be a problem because so many people are adapted to the system.
Many lives have been lost in various parts of the northwest region as the standoff continues between separatist fighters reinforcing the ghost town and administrative and municipal authorities who have drummed up many strategies to resurrect Monday from the ghost town slumber.
And thanks, Annie Collins. As Cameroonians observe the Bilingualism Week, our newsroom equally took interest in what some of them are doing as individuals at their levels to be bilingual. And so I think Chow went down the streets of Yaoundé to get some views on how Cameroonians are struggling to be bilingual.
The concept of bilingualism is handled differently by different individuals. While some got interested in the 2 official languages at a tender age, others picked up at a certain stage of their life, and today they can freely express themselves in English and French.
Very young when I discovered that it was very, very important to be bilingual. So I have been struggling personally to be bilingual, to perfect my bilingualism, and I've also been encouraging my family members and my students to do same.
Struggle myself after finishing the university to master in the English. In the level of my family, everybody speak French and speak English because I'm a Francophone, my wife is Anglophone. And our children also are going to bilingual school. That gives them the easy way to speak the above language.
The importance of the 2 languages in different spheres of life cannot be undermined.
Political part, economics, and cultural. anywhere, our both languages are very, very important, and we must learn it. It is the duty.
In diplomatic spheres, in business spheres, in the scientific world.
I think practicing many languages is an advantage, especially when you come to the professional milieu. You have many opportunities.
Reason why most Cameroonians have adopted an aggressive approach in learning the two languages.
Lorsque je me trouve par exemple avec les anglophones, je leur demande de me parler en anglais. Et je m'efforce de leur répondre aussi en anglais. Ça me permet, n'est-ce pas, d'améliorer mon niveau de bilinguisme.
I do my best to speak every day as English speaker.
Happy Bilingualism Day.
But in the nutshell, on the street of Yaoundé, this January 31st, 2024, we came across a good number of Cameroonians who are still much comfortable speaking either only English or French, deploying little or no efforts in learning the other.
Thanks, Tyson. Hope you two are making much effort towards that direction, and taxpayers in Douala are already grappling with the 2024 finance law that is already on course since January 1. And so they have been upgrading their skills on the major innovations to avoid conflict with the law. As we hear from you, Ambo Gladys Tiba.
Tax on income generated from digital assets and activities on digital platforms are amongst key innovations of the 2024 finance law.
The main innovation surrounding the finance law concerns company income tax, personal income tax. It concerns also the customs law. It also concerns some specific tax rates. We also have innovation concerning payments of expenses in cash.
Tax controllers, managers, and finance experts from different sectors are therefore meeting in Douala, Cameroon to upgrade knowledge on these major innovations to avoid sanctions that may be meted from failing to apply the law.
Notre métier de conseil fiscal.
Our job warrants us to accompany the administration in the promotion of fiscal responsibility, tax decency, and the best way to do is through capacity building for taxpayers and enterprises so that they can rightly implement the law and avoid risk.
The taxation audit is one of our most problem in management. You see, you have a good result, but few years later, after a taxation audit, you can face to a financial risk or a taxation risk. So we need to be focused on what is new and try to improve our way of management.
All the new innovations are coming along with sanctions. So if you are not coming to learn about the new innovation and you are not implementing it in your company, when the tax guys will come and control, they will sanction you.
Most of these innovations are intended to broaden the country's tax base by reaching previously untaxed sectors and individuals rather than increase the burden on existing taxpayers.
And how to solve the problem of slow execution or the non-delivery of public contracts in Cameroon remains a major concern to that ministry, a challenge the Ministry of Public Contracts is striving to address through the categorization of the different contractors according to their delivery capacities. Heisenchar takes a look on that.
In 2023, like the previous years, Cameroonians still witness the slow execution of public contracts in different localities, with some completely abandoned by the contractors in charge. A setback the Ministry of Public Contracts is seeking to redress through the categorization of contracting companies.
Some contractors did not have money, did not have expertise, and they want to take the tender, and they cannot do it. It is against the population. That's why we are put everybody in category.
Evaluating who has the capacity to handle what project is imperative.
You have to prove that you have the capacity, financial capacity through your bank. And when you have assumed all this, you have your paper, they give you a category. So that is a kind of permit to make the tender. If you are not at this level, you cannot launch the tender there, and they will send you back to your level, because the level is according to the amount. It starts by more than 8 billion to 15 million CFA.
And at the annual conference of officials of the Central and Devolved Services of the Ministry on January 30th in Yaoundé, holding under the theme Public Contracts, External Control, Lever to support project owners for the efficient execution of projects, different ministers and other stakeholders involved were here to take stocks and models on how to ameliorate the situation during this financial year.
Thanks very much, Hyacinthe Chair. From Douala to Abidjan, we swing straight to meet our reporters who are out there covering the African Cup of Nations 2023 that is holding in Côte d'Ivoire. And of course, we're having indications that Aimé Katimukuri is online with updates of the AFCON after, of course, having known the rest of the results for the group of 16. Hello, Kati, good day.
From Nigeria, 2 days to rest for the different teams before the kickoff on Friday of the quarterfinals. We now know the 8 nations qualified for the quarterfinals: Bafana, Jones, Mali, Ivory Coast, and Democratic Republic of Congo, which took the scalp of Egypt, will take on Guinea on Saturday at 6 p.m. Mali will face the host country who won a big clash against Senegal the previous round. Finally, the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde will meet South Africa at 9 p.m. The big surprises of the competition is the disqualification of the representative of Africa during the last World Cup, which is Senegal, Cameroon, Morocco, Tunisia, and Ghana. Let me give you some figures or statistics of the last round, and you know that 5 goals have been scored in the last 10 minutes of the game. West Africa is the most represented region in the quarterfinal with 4 representatives: Guinea, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Mali. 5 red cards have been handed out: Angola, Namibia, Equatorial Guinea, Egypt, and Morocco. And 4 goals from penalties were scored during this match. I promise to come back to you with more information and more news concerning this African Cup of Nations. For Canal International, standing in the street of Abidjan, Aimé Katimukuri, Augustin Fossi, and Serge Tachimo.
Oh, thanks very much, Aimé Katimukuri and team. It's wonderful that having you online. And Kizikiga takes a quick look at the quarterfinals surprises as we observe from Douala.
Absent from the 2021 edition in Cameroon, Angola and South Africa marked their return in the most beautiful way with their qualifications for the 2023 quarterfinals, having beaten by Morocco and Namibia respectively. Senegal, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco and Ghana have backed out of Ivory Coast. In this configuration, 4 of the 8 teams have touched the trophy at least once. South Africa 1996, Ivory Coast 1992 and 2015, Nigeria 1980, 1994, 2013 and finally the DRC 1968 and 1974. A coincidental surprise of the 34th edition of the AFCON is that 5 African representatives in the Qatar 2022 World Cup, namely Tunisia, Ghana, Cameroon, and Senegal, respectively, have left the race prematurely.
Well, thanks very much, Kizzy and Kati. Now we move back to our news file. And 2 important financial facilities worth 52 billion CFA francs have been signed to reinforce food security in the country. The Minister of Economic Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Oustan, signed on behalf of Cameroon. We hear from you, Beatrice Ngamo.
The 52 billion CFA francs financial facility with the UK Export Finance Agency and a commercial operator is in line with the implementation of the triennial program of the head of state, which has as main pillar the promotion of rural development in Cameroon.
This first phase is about 15,280 hectares of grassland that are going to be not only restored, but also improved on, such that development of farming is easy and production is increased.
This will lead to the implementation of irrigation system, construction of 100 kilometers of road, and acquisition of knowledge capacity equipments for the youths that are going to be installed in this area.
We certainly are going to reinforce our security in terms of food supply. At the top of it, we want to see the import substitution policy of the government be strongly encouraged, supported, and implemented.
Talking about direct advantages to the concerned population
will benefit the people of the Adama region to develop agricultural models, a new silvopastoral model, bringing new techniques and promoting food security.
Here, some 3 divisions of the Adamawa region are concerned, namely the Vina, Mbere, and the Faro Deo.
And regional councils have expressed worries as they are being stifled as a result of the piecemeal transfer of resources to local collectivities. And the Ministry of Public Health is one of those ministries that is similarly very reticent, as the councillors have opined. Maureen D was part of the council session, a special council session that took place in Douala today, and now report.
The effective transfer of competencies to decentralized collectivity remains a major drawback to effective decentralization. As of date, just 6 ministries have effectively transferred competencies, a problem the president of the regional council decries.
The law asks us to present to the population the report of what we are doing in the littoral region, regional council. You will have 2 reports. One report from the regional council, one report from the governor.
Meeting for their special session, Littoral Regional Councillors see they are committed to their projects but will require partnerships from private partners since government's quota in terms of finances remain insignificant, meaning there is an urgent need to source for more finances for realization of projects.
The littoral region will manage specifically his tourism inside the region. Wait and see, you are going to assist.
Aujourd'hui, le problème du Conseil régional littoral.
We are the search of finances, reason why our president in his address said we're engaging with private partners. 2024 sounds to be more promising. The construction of an edifice to host the tourism board remains a priority to the regional council. Besides these, areas of interest remains health, education, and road infrastructure, where there is the absence of effective transfer of resources. According to some councillors, 2024 promises to be more better than that of last year, especially as more partnerships are cropping up. Reason why planning early is to ensure effective realization, they cried out.
And we stay with you, Maureen D, as you will tell us that the second edition of the South Festival of the Canton Bazaar of Vuri is out to preach living together and to foster unity.
La femme, hier, aujourd'hui et demain.
Sir, the cultural festival of the Canton Basin has successfully implanted its image in the minds of the people of Douala after the first edition in 2023. Organizers intend to use their cultural events to strengthen coexistence within the population of Douala, specifically by strengthening ties with other communities comprised of many coastal people, that is, the Sawa, Bakokos, and other settlers. The Sa Festival is a leeway for more business opportunities, promote cultural identity of the people of Canton Basin, and strengthen authority and sustainability of the traditional Sa people assembly.
Le peuple d'Ivoire lance un appel pour dire à tout le monde que le concept vivre ensemble est un concept très important pour le Cameroun, mais aussi pour nous.
Centered on the values of living together, the event will be graced by activities like fairs, traditional dances, and others.
Ça démarrera le lundi 26 février 2024 jusqu'au samedi 2 mars 2024.
Excitement around the event is already being felt by sons and daughters of Canton Basin, who were a chance to be part of the press conference this January 31, 2024.
Thanks, Maureen D, with that report on pulling down the curtains for this edition of the 6:50 news that came earlier today. I've been Kejang Henry Atebe, thanking you, and tomorrow is another rendezvous. Good day.